Hi everyone, this is Emily from Emily Reads, and today I'm going to be bringing you my March TBR. Now, a word on this TBR. I have learned this month, February, which you'll discover in my February wrap up, I have learned that life happens, and sometimes the best made plans just kind of fall apart, which is what happened in February, and I'll explain in my wrap up what happened. So these are just some tentative things that I would like to do. I'm a huge mood reader, so things can change because of that. Um, while I do have spring break, and I'm so desperately looking forward to that, I also have a couple of IEP meetings, and that changes the dynamics of my plans. At any rate, here's what I plan on reading in March. So first, if I don't finish it before March, I will finish Measure for Measure by William Shakespeare. This is not a great copy I've discovered of Shakespeare's works. I'm kind of regretting taking these from my dad. But my father, when he passed away, I took some of his books, and I took the complete works of Shakespeare, save I'm missing one play. These don't have great annotative notes, so this is the Yale Shakespeare. So if you're looking to pick up any works of Shakespeare, I do not recommend Yale Shakespeare, because again, there's not much explanation of what's going on. It's just pretty much the straight play. So what I've done is I did find a YouTube video that gave me like a 3-minute summary of Measure for Measure. In addition, I'm fortunate I have the complete works of Shakespeare on audio by Archangel. My father had that. He was part of a Shakespeare discussion group for several years. He had a 5-shelf bookcase that was like double stacked with Shakespeare works. My father loved books. But at any rate, I realized like I've only read like 5 Shakespeare plays, and because of school, I need to get started on reading some of Shakespeare's plays. So I'm part of Sarah's Discord, Sarah from Sarah Reads, and I just put it out there like, hey, I would like to read some more Shakespeare. And other people wanted to do that as well. And so we decided, let's read Measure for Measure. And Sarah, she graciously created a thread where we could discuss the different Shakespeare plays. So that's why I plan on reading Measure for Measure. I also plan on reading Fool's Fate by Robin Hobb. This I've been wanting to read for a couple months. I thought I was going to have time to read it in February. It did not happen. My life fell apart. I was just way too stressed, and I would just come home exhausted from work. So this is the 3rd book in the Tawny Man trilogy. This is the 9th book in her Realm of the Elderlings. I am terrified to read this because there is going to be a main crisis point that I already am aware of that's carrying over from the previous book in the series. And Robin Hobb just kind of tends to rip your hearts out and shred them and then put them back together again. But she's beautiful. She's a master of character development. Please read her. If you have not, pick up Assassin's Apprentice. You will not regret it. So I plan on reading her. Then the next books, these are all kind of ideas. Things can change. But I made some selections and pulled some books that would fit in with March being Women's History Month. And so the first book I actually will probably read before I read Fool's Fate, because it'll be a nice palate cleanse between Children of Dune and Fool's Fate, and that would be Tamora Pierce's First Test. And this is a middle grade book, and this is about Caladry of Mindelian, and she is the first girl who is finally allowed to train to become a knight in the land of Tortall. And before that, it was forbidden. And so she goes to study to be a knight. And the master, Lord Wilden, says, you can do this, but you have to pass a test after the end of the first year if you want to continue to train to be a knight. She is the only person who has to pass this test. None of the boys do. So I thought, 1, it would be a great palate cleanser, and 2, of course, it has themes that would fit in with Women's History Month. The next book that I want to read is Margaret Atwood, The Testaments, which is the sequel to The Handmaid's Tale. I read The Handmaid's Tale a few years ago in preparation to watch the Hulu series, which I actually never watched. So this again is set in the Republic of Gilead, where women, certain women are basically handmaidens, which means that their position in society is that they're just breeders for people of upperclassmen, which is a horrible society. It's supposed to be a utopia, but clearly it's a dystopia. I loved Handmaid's Tale. I thought Margaret Atwood was brilliant in writing it. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and so I'm hoping that this story will be a good sequel. I've heard rumors that it's not that good. I could be wrong, so please let me know. Not right now. Please let me know if you enjoyed it. Make sure, please, keep your comments spoiler free. But I'm looking forward to reading this. Then I also plan on reading possibly Herland by Charlotte Perkins Gilman. Now, Charlotte Perkins Gilman, she wrote my favorite short story, The Yellow Wallpaper. So if you like elements of horror, if you like elements of psychology, read The Yellow Wallpaper. It is the most brilliant piece of writing. It is a brilliant short story. Loved it. So I have known about this novella for 20 years, and I just have not read it. I have not owned. I purchased this year used at my library book sale, and this is prior to World War I. 3 American males, they're explorers, and they discover an all-female society, and it's very civilized, and they can't believe it. They can't believe that a society only of women would be as civilized as it is. Surely there must be some males here, and they go searching for some males. So I'm looking forward to reading this because I've known about it, like I said, for about 20 years. I just have never read it. And then finally, what I might read is Prairie Fires, The American Dream of Laura Ingalls Wilder by Caroline Fraser. And this is a Pulitzer Prize winner, and it just gives the biography of Laura Ingalls Wilder. But not only that, it gives a lot more historical background. So I started reading this, as you can see. I'm only on page 22. But it provides background already of what was going on in Minnesota and Wisconsin between white settlers and the Native Americans that were already there. We know in reading Laura Ingalls Wilder's books that clearly there were tensions. We know that Ma had racist sentiments towards Native Americans. She expresses them. And Pa wears blackface. So clearly there's some issue there are racist issues in Laura Ingalls Wilder's books. I do still feel that Little House on the Prairie is a beautiful piece of writing. I do feel that it still has value and that it should still be read. However, we need to have conversations about the issues that it brings up, and we need to remember that literature is not written in a bubble. It's written in a specific time period by specific people. And so we need to have those conversations of this is a reflection of what's going on in society as a whole during this time. And sorry, I'm noticing my eyes are really squinty. My contacts are bothering me right now, so I apologize. So at any rate, I'm excited to read more about this because, like I said, I love Laura Ingalls Wilder, and I would like to know more context about what was going on in her life, what that influenced and impacted her writing. And it was, like I said, a Pulitzer Prize winning nonfiction book. So that is what I'm reading for March. Be on the lookout soon. I'm hoping to finish Children of Dune February ends on Monday. I don't know how much more I'll read in February, but next week you will see my February wrap up. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to it, and then let me know in the comments down below what you're reading. Have a wonderful day.